Because there is plenty to get into. If you want to watch this Browns offense in person, good luck and get mentally checked. But you should use Game Time if you want to buy tickets to go watch this train wreck live, because Game Time is where the fans go, the real fans go, to get their tickets online. Game Time is 100% authentic, delivers your tickets on time, and has the best prices around. Their fees are included in the prices, so the price you see is the price you pay. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use promo code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off your first purchase. Once again, that is promo code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, and go. Download Game Time today. So in case anyone missed it, after the game, Kevin Stefanski went to the press conference and opened his press conference by saying, we're going to evaluate everything. And then about 90 seconds in, and you can go find exactly where he says it, he was asked, does that mean you're sticking with Dillon Gabriel? And Kevin Stefanski responded, quote, yes, it does. So if you want to go find the exact bite, it's 92 seconds into his press conference yesterday. Mary Kay Cabot, Zach Jackson, Daniel Oyefusi, all the beat reporters tweeting out the news as he delivered it. We all saw what Dillon did yesterday, guys. And, G, I want you to go second on this because you and I talked about it on the show. And I want to start with Jason because he's the only one that hasn't really given us his thoughts on the quarterback yet. But, Jason, he's sticking with Dillon Gabriel. In my opinion, this was the worst Dillon Gabriel performance we have seen to date in his 4 starts. And if you were in charge, would you make a quarterback change, or is the Browns and Kevin Stefanski going about this in the right manner by sticking with Dillon?
Here's the thing. How did we get here? They signed, and I was against Flacco. I was against the Flacco signing. I told you that at the time. Why are you signing a 4-year-old quarterback? But the fact is they had 2 veteran quarterbacks, and now somehow we have a 3rd-round rookie and a 5th-round rookie and a Bailey Zappi. Like, think about it. How did you wind up in this position? And I'll go back to, like, why did you trade Kenny Pickett? Why? Because he pulled his hamstring in training camp?
That is the answer.
So you trade the guy who very likely was going to be your starting quarterback for the year, but you trade him for a 5th because he pulled his hamstring? Yeah. And now, and you can go back and relitigate the Flacco thing and what Tomlin said and if Kevin was on board, all that. The reality is you started the year with 2 veterans, and now you've got a 3rd-round pick and a 5th-round pick. You want to change quarterbacks? Go ahead, change quarterbacks. I don't know what's really going to change. I mean, Jay laid it out. I've been saying it all along. The receivers are terrible. The Lions, there's no talent on this offense. So I don't know what quarterback you're going to put in there that is available to you that's going to change this or save this.
I don't know. The Jets had no talent on their offense yesterday, and they scored 40 points.
What happened? I didn't watch that game. Was their defense that bad?
Yes, their defense is that bad.
Okay, congratulations. The Jets now have 1 win.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But the point is
they're just as bad as the Browns.
But their offense yesterday, for as bad as it is, was way better than I've seen the Browns offense in 2 years. Why?
I don't know. I didn't watch the game. I didn't watch the game.
Sounds like because the Bengals defense is that awful.
They made a lot of plays. Yes, the Bengals defense stinks. The Patriots defense wasn't that good yesterday. The Browns just stink.
Yeah, they do. The Jets and the Browns are in the same league. That's where
the Patriots defense was great yesterday.
Well, every defense looks pretty good against the Browns.
It's hard to, and that's my point.
Did they get any consistent pressure?
It's hard to qualify what you're seeing. Like what Miami did to Atlanta was confounding to me yesterday. Like I don't know if they rallied around McDaniel because they learned he's not going anywhere. I don't know what that was all about. But it's such an odd league that Miami and the Jets can go out and play as well as they did yesterday.
But it's everybody but you.
My point is,
everyone but us.
Is that every other team has looked good on offense at least 1 or 2 times this year.
And the Browns scored 31 against Miami.
They did look good on offense.
No, they didn't. But you just told me the Jets scored 39. Well, the Browns scored 39.
They have 400 yards.
What I just said was other teams have looked good on offense. The Jets looked good on offense yesterday. The Browns have not looked good on offense once the entire season.
Because we don't have good players.
Neither do the Jets.
Here's the reality.
They were better than the Bengals defense yesterday.
Jay, here's the reality. We've all been told. These dudes told us from the analytical approach that they were in lockstep. They picked the players together. They choose the guys.
Well, they all go together.
There it is. It was a group decision. The Easter Bunny did not pick the players. Kevin Stefanski and Andrew Berry did.
Yeah.
Santa Claus didn't pick the players. So if you're sitting here saying, well, they're bad, who picked the bad players?
Yeah.
They did. Who coaches the bad players? Who puts you can't. This is what I told you 2 years ago. It's going to get to a point where you can't take a guy and Kevin's not going to get separated to the side anymore. He's going to have to own his mess. He's going to, and if he wants to play Dillon, trot him out there. Keep explaining to us why he's playing, and he's going to show us in real time you don't know what you're talking about. Because you told us in the draft this was your hand-picked quarterback. It is the exact reason Shedeur Sanders doesn't get reps, because he's going to give every opportunity for Dillon Gabriel to throw his way out of purgatory. It's the reason he dropped back 58 times against the Steelers. The jig is up, Kevin. We understand what it is. We get it. And when you don't have Quinshon Judkins to prop him up, you see what happens. The offense is terrible. Kevin Stefanski has been outcoached by all types of coaches. The offense is JV, high school, Lakewood, St. Ed's dump-offs. His best play was a tight end corner route and from Fannin. And after that happened, guess what? Mark Schlereth even said, hey, wow, look at these little receivers that the Browns have. Maybe they should get a guy that can go up and get one of those jump balls or something. He's talking to them like he's playing at Toledo or Eastern Michigan, playing against Ohio State.
It looked like.
And this is what they keep telling us is acceptable. I don't know what's worse, the fact that they told you that they was going to try to do this, or the fact that they trying to sell it to you in real time like that's an excuse. We told you we were going to be bad. That's not an excuse. You're bad. People get fired for that. I don't understand any of this. I don't understand how this dude is.
Jay,
how is he still here?
What did you make of Vrabel's comment after the game? I want to put him on the couch.
I don't think that was a shot.
Oh, it was.
I did.
It was a shot.
It was.
It was a shot.
About the gimmick thing?
Yeah.
It's a shot.
But why is he taking a shot at him? Like,
doesn't make any sense.
He's a competitor.
He's a competitor, yeah, but I also think there's something in the relationship between Kevin and Mike. Mike is snarky by nature.
Yes.
I mean, if you know Mike, you
yes,
know
he
he's
is.
snarky. And sometimes his snark is intentional. And sometimes you look at him and you're like, wait, are you being serious right now? And I don't know what he meant by it, but I do think that for him to say it publicly, because that's kind of who he is. I mean, he'll just say it. But if you dive down into that comment and he said it and he meant it, then what he's saying is, yeah, that offense, I mean, you can gimmick up some stuff here and there, but you're going to run out of that. And after that, there is nothing to it.
Okay, so I'll go back to what I said before about all the receivers, separation, all that all the data, take the emotion out of it.
Yeah.
The data tells you this offense sucks and they don't have talent.
Our run game is 29.
So I said, what do you want them to call?
Yeah,
and you said trick plays. Okay, they called a couple trick plays.
You're going to run out.
And then
And they did.
So again, I go back to what do you want them to call?
Yeah,
there's nothing here.
Nothing.
Once again,
nothing.
The Jets had nothing.
And Breece Hall had 130. You've been praising Breece Hall for years. He's a great running back.
I have not been praising.
Yes, you have.
He's a good running back.
Okay, he had 133 yards and 2 touchdowns. Thanks for the trade, Ant.
What's that?
No wonder you know every single yard and stat.
I just looked it up.
Can you name a wide receiver that played for the Jets yesterday?
That played for the Jets? No, because I didn't watch the game.
Yeah,
I just looked at Breece Hall.
They didn't have a single wide receiver do anything a single wide receiver that had ever done anything in their careers ever. Their top 2 wide receivers were out. Breece Hall was coming off an injury. Their tight end was coming off an injury.
Were there mistakes? Like I didn't even.
They made a lot of good plays. Justin Fields did a good job. Made some good throws in the second half.
But there weren't like pick sixes. Like
no.
Now can they do that again?
But can the Browns do it at all?
Can they do it again?
We've done it twice.
I don't know
we
that
got
they
2
can.
wins.
The Jets
are a terrible football team. The Browns are a terrible football team.
My point is, Jason, that every other team, including the Jets, including the bad teams, occasionally have a good offensive game.
All right,
and the
great.
Browns have not done it once this year.
Okay, great.
And the team the Jets put out there
They're still
yesterday
gonna draft to the
offensively
top 5.
was not any worse than what the Browns were putting out there.
Well, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
You tweeted or quote tweeted this earlier. We talked about it this morning. But John Costco, who's been on the show before, put out a tweet. And part of the reason the Browns struggled to move the ball offensively, and part of the reason, Bull, I think we don't see those one-off performances right now, is the quarterback play we've gotten recently is even subpar considering the standard of a Browns quarterback. And some of these tweets, and I understand it comes from PFF, and this is from John Costco, who works for PFF, kind of paint a picture of where Dillon Gabriel ranks among the league in some important categories. through his 4 starts. And Steve, if you want to take this full, you'll be able to read this. But you can see his 4 grades on the screen. These are PFF grades. Highest of the 4 was his first start, a 63.5. But it's the bottom line I want to mention that I want to point out here. Gabriel is the lowest graded passer in the NFL with a minimum of 100 attempts. He has the worst uncatchable throw rate, second lowest big-time throw rate, third worst in terms of the most turnover-worthy plays. He has the lowest positive grade rate, and he's the second worst in rhythm throwing.
So he's the worst quarterback in the league, is what you're saying.
Easily.
And that tracks because I thought the Vikings game was his best game. And he's progressively gotten worse.
Gotten worse each game.
Yeah.
Right.
And for me, I'm going to point at Kevin Stefanski for 2 things that he keeps saying. If it's true that the word is that he's not ready, he's been in the Browns offense for what, 5 months now?
6 months.
I mean, on and off, with the mini camps and everything. Give him 6. Say 6. Why isn't he ready? You get him ready. It's your job to get him ready. Get him ready. Don't use that as an excuse.
I don't trust that he knows who's ready and who's not.
Well, and here's the other thing. The other thing is,
Yeah.
I need my quarterback to get better his first 4 games. He's gotten markedly worse each time out.
Yeah.
Coach, what are you doing? What are you doing? I know you've got no players, but you can't. He had the same players with his 63.5 as he had with his 38.4.
And the damning part.
How's he getting worse?
The damning part about it is Joe Flacco looked the same way.
Yes.
And that's a veteran.
Yes.
The same way.
Actually, the talent around him got better because they had Njoku back yesterday.
And they've gotten some guys on the line have been healthy.
Right.
But there's also tape on him now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what does he do? I mean, all he does is drop back and throw 3-yard passes.
I'm just saying now teams know it. Not that they didn't know what to expect, but his best game was his best game was his first game.
I guess.
And now teams know how to scheme him.
He wouldn't. It's funny because the other team on the other sideline is laughing, like, dude, that's the guy you're playing.
That's him.
They're laughing, like. It's like they can't believe it. He would be a third-string quarterback, maybe on a fringe bad team.
You know what's funny? He was supposed to be the third-string quarterback on a bad team.
Yes, he was.
That was the job for 24 hours. That was the plan. Third-string quarterback on a bad team. That's why I'm saying, how did we get to the point where he's now the starter in October?
We should discuss that.
I guess they're all in lockstep.
But
who was the first adult in the room to step forward and say, yeah, let's move on from Pickett?
I don't know.
You don't know?
See, this is...
You think they'd have any more wins with Kenny Pickett?
Yes.
I don't.
Gee, I want to hear what you're saying.
So this is the point. They've gassed you from Jump Street. We were told ad nauseum that Kenny Pickett was the guy who was getting reps. We like Pickett. We want to see what Pickett is.
I was saying that. Just like there was a couple of us, but I was saying
Didi, Mary Kay, Tony Grossi. There was multiple
the Browns
beat reporters
were putting out, though. That's why.
Multiple
the
reporters
Browns were putting that out.
Said that and then so he gets hurt. And my question is, just like you asked, how is it that you go from this guy getting the majority and the bulk of your reps to one day you coming in and he never plays it down for you, not in the regular season?
I said when they I don't understand what they're doing.
Makes sense.
I didn't understand any of it. I didn't understand the signing of Flacco, the trade of Kenny, and then when you move off Flacco, at the time when they traded Flacco, it's like, all right, well, he can't move, whatever. I did think he'd have a better chat with the Bengals just because who he was throwing to. And I took that as, okay, well, they must really like Dillon. Well, Dillon ain't it at all. And now you've left yourself in a position with no safety net whatsoever. And it really goes back. The Pickett one is the one that I can't wrap my head around of how we got to this point.
That really started the whole thing.
Because the organization they don't care about winning, and they're okay having a loser mentality. Like right now, they don't care about winning. That's clear.
No, they don't. I told you. I've said that
and
since
you can't
July,
just keep losing all the time.
Did you guys?
You can't just keep losing
I don't know
all
if you
the
did
time.
any reporting or dug on it. We did upstairs. I didn't see the letter. The Browns sent the letter out to a group of season ticket holders
on pricing.
Are you hearing some of these numbers? Jay,
I think Zach sent me something actually.
This could be the end of the Cleveland Browns again.
Well, I got a text from somebody who took the survey. We're going to do it later in the week.
Yeah.
I have screenshots of all the pricing and stuff.
Yeah.
So I just didn't have time to
throw some of the numbers out, Mike. Throw them out.
I literally have not gone through
PSL
any of it
numbers.
yet.
I
Lower
mean,
bowl.
I kept telling you guys there's
Did you
going to
see
be
what they
sticker.
were?
Yeah, with the sticker shock. I have it
Did
in
you see the
here
$149,000 PSL ticket price?
for the lower bowl or some of the spots in lower bowl.
Who's
No,
gonna,
hold on.
Who's going to do that in Cleveland, Ohio?
Hold on. You said
And that's for one.
Hey, go ahead.
Nobody
be
buys
shy.
one.
Don't be shy.
New stadium.
Hey, listen. Don't
Why
be shy.
do you think I've been telling you all they care about is
Nah.
2029?
Hold on.
Jay, here's
Hold
the
on.
problem with that.
No, Jay.
You can't put a garbage product
Jay.
in there and expect people to
Jay.
pay
Totally
that.
agree.
They was upfront about how much money they wanted from them taxpayers. We should be upfront about how much they trying to shove these tickets down your throat in a bad product. How much did you say they were? I don't want to be mush-mouthed now. They in the news every week talking about how we getting this, we about to get this. They good with all that stuff, but you got an email back chain about how much the prices cost. They telling you right now, you ain't got the money for it. But
Wait
you
till
better,
they get those
But you
results.
better find one. 149, like you talking house money.
Gee, that's for the right to purchase tickets.
How is it even legal? How is
Oh,
that
it's
even
very
legal?
Bull, it's a free and open market.
Yeah.
Here's what's legal
for some
about
people,
it.
Jay. It's only for rich people. It's a free.
No.
Yes.
You're asking from the business
Yes.
side of it. How is
Yeah.
it legal? You can do whatever you want.
Charge
that
whatever you
doesn't mean
want.
the consumer's going to be dumb enough to pay it. Look at Yankee Stadium.
I was just thinking that.
Look
I was just
at
thinking
Yankee
that. Yeah,
Stadium.
yeah.
I remember when
And
they
that's
were building
New York.
it. And the funny thing is, like, I had a big conversation,
This
more
is
of a
fun.
debate with a
This
guy
is-
who told me that it would never matter how much tickets were at Yankee Stadium. This was right before they opened the new one. And I go, let me tell
This
you
is
something.
crazy, man.
It does matter. Because at some point, you ask yourself this, is it worth the enjoyment? Now, the Yankees win. Watch any regular season home Yankee game and look at the premium seats. Just look at them. They're surprisingly empty. We have more people in our premium seats at Progressive Field, and we're near the bottom of attendance, than they do. Why? Well, the Yankees overcalculated. They made the calculation that my buddy, who was a lifetime New Yorker and Yankees fan, you can never price Yankee fans out of the ballpark. Well, they have. And that's the number one market in the United States of America in terms of financial, household wealth, all of that. And we're going to try to do that here. This might be, and Jimmy's made some major miscalculations, major miscalculations when it comes to how to run a football team. This might be the single biggest miscalculation, and I don't know. I can't wait until they get the results from the surveys because they're asking their customers, their diehard customers, about what the pain threshold is with tickets.
Good
luck with that.
Only way they get that off is they find a quarterback. That's the only way you're getting it off. That's the only way. And by the way,
But here's the problem.
Now you sound like me. This
Yeah,
is
but-
what I've been
but-
saying
but
for
you-
months.
if you want to gas that price, you better have
Okay,
in place.
how many Clevelanders do you know? Now, and you don't just buy one season ticket. Nobody does that. You go with someone. You don't want to go and sit by yourself. Spend $150,000 for the right to buy tickets.
They're counting on 8 people to split it.
I don't know anybody.
Okay, that's fine. But
I know
if
nobody.
8 people split it, you get one game for $1.50.
Yeah, yeah.
The problem here is this.
And I think they're starting high, and the prices will probably come down.
Well, if they were trying to
would
shock and awe, they did.
Yeah.
I'll take screenshots from the survey. We'll do it later
Yeah,
this week.
it's
I
worth
don't have
diving
it
into.
Let me tell you
It's worth
this.
diving into.
They might not want to hear it, but Jimmy, I'm gonna tell you this. Oh, there's some people that would show up to that game. There's people that never seen a Colorado game in their whole entire life, and they bought season tickets, and they live out of state. I'm telling you, you think I'm playing? They'll pull up. You think they throw it in the comment section? You see if you
At 150,000.
I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna tell you. Listen, I ain't gonna say 150,000, but let me
Okay.
tell you something. If they play Shedeur Sanders, I'm gonna tell you what. There is rich, like there are rappers and entertainers that pull up on sidelines.
You better have
just
70,000 of them.
Just on. Listen. By the way, the calculus is already written in there. Why do you think? How do you think that it blew up? He said it blew up in 24 hours. Their plan was never to draft Shedeur Sanders.
Never.
But somebody pulled up in the middle of the night and said, we can't afford to take that marketing chip off the table.
Jimmy said when we left the draft Friday night, I'm paraphrasing. Drafting Shedeur was not on the table, and yet Saturday, Shedeur was drafted here. Yeah. And I don't have connected.
Gee, I think I know where you're going with this.
Yes, I do.
I think what you're doing is saying, but here's the thing.
Yes, I do.
That might be the largest leap of faith of all time because he was drafted in calendar year 2025. You're moving into the new stadium in 2029. You're making a calculus that a 5th-round draft pick is going to be so good that he can start for the Browns in 4 years. We haven't had a quarterback do that.
No. What my calculus is this. Jimmy understands. I made this analogy. I don't know nobody that builds a new house and brings in old furniture. If you build a house from the ground up, I ain't bringing nothing from my old furniture.
Well, new furniture would be a college graduate in 2028.
No, new furniture.
No, you got to have something who's established, who is a star.
We're going to do that in 2 years?
I keep telling you, all they care about is 2029.
But here's the thing.
They have these drafts to get ready for that.
Let me finish what was
They're
going
not
with
getting
it.
there by
Let me
2029.
finish what I'm saying. You know what new furniture is? A new regime. Every time you say...
We've had a lot of new
No, hold on. But here's the thing, Jay. See, you're a little older. You don't fall for the trick. They only got to fool the young people. They only got to fool the 50 and 40.
Yeah, but you got to fool them every year.
But no, if you get a new regime, guess how many years that we all preach?
Well, that'll be 2 regimes by 2029.
Yeah, it probably will.
Probably will. A new regime gives you 2 years. A new regime gives you, hey, I want my quarterback. I get to have my guys.
I got to tell you,
I'm telling you.
I said with the Deshaun Watson trade that this is going to set the team back a decade. It's going to be a decade. It will.
All right, well, let's leave that for now. We're going to get to Stefanski later.
Before we move on real quick.
Take us to the one good news of the day here.
I will. Before we do that, real quick, yes or no answer. Stefanski said he would not make a quarterback change after the bye. We'll find out what he says later today. Jay, we'll start with you. Yes or no, would you, if you were in charge?
I would absolutely make the change.
Okay.
He absolutely will not.
G.
Facts. Exactly what he said. No,
Jason?
he ain't doing it. I would do it. He's not.
I don't have a strong opinion either way.
Either way.
I really do. I don't think it's going to matter.
Well, remember a couple of weeks ago, we left here, and we all had said on the show, Shedeur's the 3. He's going to be the 3. Everything's lean. And we finished the show, and we were standing in the parking lot, and Mikey walked out, and he goes, Shedeur's the 2. I mean, it's like, and we looked at each other, and you know what we said? That's the Browns.
There's no
you
reason.
never know what they're going to do.
There's no reason not to play Shedeur Sanders. So
I think Shedeur is going to play at some point this season.
Can I ask a question? I didn't see it. I only saw it from one person, so I don't know if it's true. All this stuff you hear and see. Someone said that Jimmy's grandkids were on the field wearing 12s.
That was the Miami game.
Was that true?
I didn't see their faces. I don't know if that was his grandkids, but
somebody had said.
But I mean, go back and look at that famous Jets picture from a few years ago.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it probably was them, but I didn't see their faces.
So the reason why I know it's a hedge, but that you got to hedge with the Browns because you just don't know. I say Kevin will not make the decision to put Shedeur in after the bye.
I agree with that.
However, if Jimmy comes down and says, "I want to see the kid,"
it is what it is.
Then he's in.
Yeah,
that's it.